You are listening to Sherlock Holmes and the Clockwork Cipher. Chapter 5. The Test. The stillness of that room seemed to close in around us. Holmes did not move. His eyes were fixed upon the darkness beyond the workbench, listening with an intensity I'd seldom witnessed. Again, the sound came. Click. Not loud, not hurried, deliberate. The watchmaker shifted beside me. "You hear it?" he whispered. "Yes," I replied. Holmes raised a hand slightly, silencing us both. Then, without a word, he moved forward. Each step was careful, measured. The faint glow of the oil lamp cast long shadows across the walls, revealing rows upon rows of silent watchers, each one frozen in time. The air seemed thicker here, as though untouched for years. Holmes stopped near the far end of the room. "There," he said quietly. At first I saw nothing. Then, from the deeper shadows, a figure stirred. A man stepped forward into the dim light. He was tall and thin, his features sharp and pale, his eyes steady and unflinching. He regarded us not with surprise, but with calm recognition. "So," said the man softly, "you have followed it." Holmes inclined his head slightly. "It would appear so." The stranger's gaze passed briefly over me, then settled upon the watchmaker. A faint smile touched his lips. "And you brought him," he said. The watchmaker stiffened. I did not know." "Of course you did not," the man replied gently. "That was never your role." Holmes stepped forward, placing himself between us and the stranger. "You designed the watches," he said. It was not a question. The man nodded once. "I did." Holmes's eyes narrowed slightly. "And the cipher?" "Yes." "And the path?" Again a calm nod. "All of it." A silence followed. Not tense, not uncertain, but heavy with meaning. "You intended for me to find it," Holmes said. The man's expression did not change. "I intended for someone to find it," he replied. "But I had hoped," he paused, "that it would be you." I felt a chill run through me. "Why?" I demanded. The man turned his gaze toward me. "Because," he said quietly, "there are very few men capable of understanding what I have built." Holmes's voice remained steady. "And what precisely have you built?" The man gestured slowly toward the room. "A system," he said. "A design that measures not time, but choice." Holmes's brow furrowed slightly. "Explain." The man took a step closer into the light. "The watches do not guide movement," he said. "They reveal it." I glanced toward Holmes, uncertain. "What does he mean?" I whispered. Holmes did not take his eyes off the man. "It means," he said slowly, "that the path we followed was not created in advance." He paused. "It was created by us." The man smiled faintly. "Precisely." The weight of those words settled heavily upon the room. "You see, Mr. Holmes," the man continued, "every decision alters the sequence. Every movement changes the result." Holmes's expression sharpened. "Then the cipher is not fixed?" "No. It is alive." Another click echoed through the room, this time louder. Several of the watches upon the table shifted ever so slightly. Tick. For the first time, I felt a true sense of unease. "They are moving," I said. Holmes's voice was low now. "Yes. They have begun." The man stepped back into the shadows. "And now," he said, We shall see where you choose to go next." "Wait!" I called, but he was already gone. The darkness swallowed him completely. Holmes stood motionless for a moment longer. Then, slowly, he turned back toward the watches. "My dear Watson," he said quietly, "this is no longer an investigation." He picked up one of the watches, studying its face as it ticked forward. "It is a test." Thanks for watching. Tune in next time for another chapter of Sherlock Holmes and the Clockwork Cipher. If you're enjoying these stories, a like, a comment, or a subscription truly helps. And if you'd like to support the work, you can buy me a coffee. It would be greatly appreciated.